So I am terrible with names. I used to, when a horse would come in, a new horse, instead of calling the horse by the horse's name, I called the horse by the owner's name, and that helped me keep straight which owner went with which horse. And I have these two Percherons, and of course they have two names that I can't remember any better than I used to remember names. So I've been calling them Black Percheron and Gray Percheron. And this is Black Percheron. I wanted to show you a little bit where he's at, or she's at rather. She has been progressing really nicely. She's progressing faster than the gray one. We have been on both of them, but the steering is not there for the gray one. So we're doing a lot more groundwork to work on her steering. We get in the saddle and she just kind of takes us where she wants to go. This one is a lot more willing to go where we want to go and do what we ask her to do. I wanted to show you where we're at with her. I think the dynamics between the two horses has affected their training pretty greatly. Of the two, the other one is pretty dominant over this one. The other one pushes this one around and kind of tells this one what to do, and pretty dominant over this one. And I think what has happened with that one, the gray one, because she is so dominant, that authority has been reinforced for a long time because of being dominant over this one. So it's taken us a lot more work for us to reinforce our authority over her. Where this one, since she has been dominated by the other one for so long, wrong ways to lift the saddle up, because she has been dominated by this one so long, mentally, she a lot more readily accepted us telling her what to do. There's some things here that she's doing that needs some work, needs to be reinforced. But right now, I'd like to just get her saddled and show you where she's at. If I wasn't videoing, I probably would have pulled the saddle back down, lunged her a little bit, and then went back and saddled her again. You notice I started saddling her without lunging her, without doing anything else. And that's what we're working towards. But in the process, I didn't quite have her attention on me. Where if I would have lunged her first, I would have had her attention better. Well, I don't like to always have to lunge a horse before I work it. I want the horse's mind to come on me right from the beginning. And her being a little bit fidgety right here shows me that didn't quite have her mind. I'm gonna step that foot back away. There we go. While I'm tightening the saddle, I'm real conscientious about what this foot right here does. When that foot stepped towards me, that's gonna get my foot stepped on for one thing. And it's a little bit her telling me that she don't like what's going on. Stepping towards me, she's trying to get me to move my space out of my space. She's claiming my space. And in that aspect, she's really seeing how serious I am about what I'm doing here. So that little movement right there, when they step towards me when I'm tightening the saddle, I'm always going to step that foot back away from me. When I'm tightening the saddle, I'm not pulling it this way. I'm not pulling her over here. I'm pulling up, and I'm not even putting that much pressure. She needs to learn to support herself, whatever pressure is going on here. At some point, I'm going to put my foot in this stirrup, which I'm going to get on in a minute. I'm going to put my foot in the stirrup, and she needs to support the weight. She shouldn't be stepping over here when I put my weight in the stirrup. That should not affect her stance. So by the same token, when I'm tightening this saddle, that should not affect this foot. That foot needs to stay away from me. Now I'm going to attach the lunge line to her. I'm going to move her feet just a little bit. Like I said, we have been on her, and I'm going to get on her here in just a minute. But I want to make sure her mind is on me before I get on her. She's already showing me that her mind is not on work. When I get her out and she does the saddling and shows me that her mind is on work, she's ready to go, then I'll get on her without lunging her, without doing anything else. But she is showing me she's not there, so I'm going to lunge her just a minute. She don't need to work hard, but she needs to move her feet, and she needs to do what I ask her to do. I left the girth strap hanging down. I did that intentionally. With older horses, more finished horses, when I saddle in the barn, I'm never going to tighten the saddle up all at one time. So when I saddle in the wash rack, saddle in the barn, I usually leave it hanging down just as a reminder to me that I haven't tightened the saddle yet. It's not as big a deal for horses. Let's meet her at the wall and change direction. See, she still doesn't quite have her mind on work. It's not as big a deal for horses that I'm riding, but when I'm giving lessons, that's a reminder to me that this saddle is not tight enough. Don't let the student get on. So I do leave it hanging quite a bit when it's not tight enough to get on. Change directions again. See right there, she looked at me, she thought about coming into my space. And the one swat with the whip was enough to tell her that that was not going to be acceptable. So she went on and turned. That is getting her mind on the job that we're doing. Come on. And that is getting her mind on, I'm in charge. Nope, we're not going that way. That is getting her mind on, I am in charge. You notice when she went to turn around, she bumped on my hand, but it wasn't that hard. Wasn't any harder than any other quarter horse or any other horse. She is a lot more willing to give her head to me than what the other one is. That's where I'm having trouble with the other one. She'll turn away and just try to drag me with her. So I'm doing some work to soften her face, soften her rein. I'll probably record that our next recording date. Today is Thursday. We normally record on Mondays and Thursdays. I have some new horses in today that I want to show you. So I'll probably video me working that horse on Thursday, so you can see what I'm doing to make that better. Huh? I didn't hear you.
You said you probably recorded on Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and check the saddle. It's tight enough to get on now. Pretty snug. Now I just want to, at this point, reinforce her direction. Turn left, right, steer, back up, stop. Before I get on, just to give her a little reminder. Now she has her mind on work. You can watch her ears. She's listening to me better. She'll flick an ear back on me. Steering left and right, good. This is a lot better. This is more the mind that I want before I get on. Now I ain't gonna stop just yet. Let's go a little more. Steer out here in the middle and let's ask her to stop. We'll check our whoa. Whoa. Good girl. Whoa. Back. Back. Good girl. Just one step. I'm going to reward that one step. See if we can get another step. Back. Good girl. See, I rewarded that one step that wasn't very much. And because I rewarded that, I went on and got more. Now, if she was further along, a more advanced horse, then I would expect more. But at this point, that's enough. That's what I expect. As the horse's training progresses, you have to progress your expectations. And at this point in her training, that meets my expectations. Now we're still attaching to the halter. I was just driving off the halter. I get on her. I'm going to have the reins attached to the halter. She is actually pretty close to swapping to the bit. She's starting to understand steering pretty nice. I have to pull a little harder than I would like for the stop, but that's not a huge deal. That's something that will get better. That again. Rocked her weight back, got me a little off balance. Good girl. Just sit here just a second. While I'm up here and I'm talking, pay attention to her ears. Right then they went forward. My cows are right out there. When I first sat down, they were back on me pretty good. I don't expect them to be on me all the time, but when I ask for something, I expect them to come back to me to do what I'm asking to do. I know that mounting block's there, but I'm asking her to turn left. Walking forward has been one of the things that we've been needing more work with. Good girl. Little bump. Walk forward, I'm gonna give her a pretty loose rein. If she was acting more like she had a tendency to buck, I wouldn't give her this much rein. She still could, but she doesn't seem like she really wants to. So what I want to do, since I want to really reinforce my walk cue, is I'm gonna give her a pretty clear reward. Taking me over here. Let's turn and go over here. Well, that was kind of hard. I've been not needing to pull too extremely hard with her. Not really any harder than what I would need to pull with any other horse. Let's go this way. See how we need reinforce our forward. Now you notice I'm wearing spurs. I just about always wear spurs. A lot of times I'll take them off when I'm getting on a green horse. I didn't with her because I really don't think she's going to be able to jump and get me out of position. But I'm not using them on her either. I'm trying to get her to walk off with bumping my legs. Let's walk. Her buddy is over that way. She's wanting to go over that way. We're going to see if we can go over this way. There we go. Now she's trying to tell me no. She's basically what I would say passive no. She's not really actively taking me over there, but she's kind of letting me know, hey, I'd like to go over there, and being a little bit harder to go over here. It's kind of what I call passive no. I am going to get a little bit more aggressive with her, and then I'm going to reward her again. That was a little bit harder bump, and I might go ahead and use my spurs a little bit. I'm not going to bump with my spurs. If I do use them, I'll push. It's time to start teaching her a little bit of leg yield to get off of my leg anyways. There was a little squeeze with spurs, another little squeeze with spurs. There we go. Squeeze with spurs. Good girl. She's actually responding to that better than she is the bump. All I'm doing is turning my toes out just a little bit, giving a little light squeeze, not even that hard. And then when she goes forward, I'll release the pressure. She stops, I'll ask again. At this point, I'm not gonna fuss at her for stopping, because I want to reinforce the go cue. Give her a reward, let her move her feet. She's wanting to take me that way. But at this point, I'm not gonna make a big deal of that, because I need to get feet moving. There's a Canadian goose just walked in here with us. Hopefully she ain't afraid of Canadian geese. Move your feet, move your feet, move your feet. More squeeze with spurs. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Come on, move your feet. And release. Good girl. She's not wanting to leave this end. Because her buddy is over that way. But she needs to listen to me. In the very beginning of working these two percherons, I talked about them being buddy sour and how that was going to affect their training. There's no way I can separate them so that they cannot see or hear each other. Well, I could separate them so they can't see each other, but I can't separate them so they can't hear each other. So they know the other one is here. But what I've had to develop is a work ethic with the one that I'm working on while the other one is someplace else. And that's been a kind of a continuing thing the whole time. She wants to go this way because her buddy is over here. I'm kind of letting that happen, which is helping me to get some go, because her buddy is kind of drawing her over there. But the other side of that is I'm balancing that out with making her move her feet back away from that end. Pretty common with any green horse that you start that don't want to move their feet, there might be something they want to go to. A buddy, a gate, a bucket of feed, water bucket. So that's not uncommon. And I'm kind of using that to help move her feet forward. See if we can turn this way. Forward, there we go. There we go. There we go. I know they're Canadian geese, and I guess most of the country, I don't really know. But it seems like here in this part of the country, they don't seem to migrate, or they don't migrate as much, because we have them year round. That's actually a couple of older ones with some babies that recently hatched out. There we go, good girl, let's go. Let's go, good girl. And I've talked about this a little bit before, It's hard to teach whoa with a horse that don't have much go. So her stop isn't that great under saddle. If I'm pointing towards the barn, her stop's really good. If I'm pointing where she wants to go, stop's not that good. I need to get a better go. Come on, let's walk. I need to get a better go in order to teach a better stop. So at this point with her, we're down to just some really boring go, reward, turn left, reward, turn right, reward. A lot of really boring stuff, reinforcing the stuff that we've already taught. Let's take another step. No, we're not going that way. Good girl. Whoa. So that's where we are with this with this Percheron, and she's turned out to be really nice and was fairly easy to start. Gonna make up for the other one that needs a lot more work. been a lot more time consuming. Until next time, thank you for watching.